Ravindra Balirao. I'm studying in Poda International School in class 8. Today, we are going to see stanza-wise explanation of an English poem. The name of the poem is When Great Tree Falls, written by Maya Angelou. But before watching this video in detail, don't forget to subscribe my channel. So let's start. First, let us see some detailed information about the poetess. Maya Angelou was an American author, actress, screenwriter, dancer, poet and civil rights activist, best known for her 1969 memoir, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which made literary history as the first non-fiction bestseller by an African-American woman. Angelou received several honors throughout her career, including 2 NAACP Image Awards in the Outstanding Literary Work Non-Fiction category in 2005 and 2009. Stanza 1. When great tree falls, rocks on distant hills shudder, lions hunger down in tall grasses, and even elephants lumber after safety. Explanation. This poem opens with the metaphor of the tree that falls. It of course symbolizes the loss of a great person. When a great tree falls, it is felt for miles around. In the same way, when a great soul departs, the effects are felt deep and far. The image of rocks on distant hills shudder symbolizes the way in which death causes people, even distant people, to feel despair. Lions which hunker down reflects the way some people will react to the loss. The loss causes a certain amount of fear and pressing need to hide away and escape to safety. Only there is no escape from the feeling of despair that comes from losing someone great. The speaker's use of nature and animals to create the image of the effects of death allows the reader to connect with the feeling throughout the visual imaginary presented. Stanza 2. When great tree falls in forest, small things recoil into silence, their senses eroded by fear. Explanation. The speaker, having already revealed the way in which great things are affected by the death of someone great, now turns her attention to the small things. This suggests that the loss of someone great is felt among the great and among small. This could mean that the physically small children feel the effects of the loss as much as their older counterparts. It could also mean that those who are unknown, without fame or political significance, feel the effects of the loss just as the great minds of their day feel. The great tree that falls in the forest causes even the small things in the forest to recoil into silence. This symbolizes the way people fall into silence in their midst of despair. They are not even sure what they feel, for their senses are eroded beyond fear. This refers to the numbness of the heart and soul that often immediately follows the loss of a great person. Stanza 3. When great souls die, the air around us becomes light, rare and sterile. We breathe briefly, our eyes briefly see with a hurtful clarity. Our memory suddenly sharpened, examines, gnaws, and kind words unsaid, promised walks never taken. Explanation. In the third stanza, the speaker shifts from her use of the metaphor of speaking directly about death. Just as great tree falls, causes ripples of miles, so the great soul departs. Move affects the hundreds or thousands of hearts he or she has touched during the time they lived. The speaker describes the way in which the air even seems to become light and sterile. It is hard to breathe when one has lost an important loved one. the speaker describes the way in which those affected by loss have a brief moment of hurtful clarity in which they are able to see and understand just what a valuable soul has been lost. When the loss hits, often a person's memory is suddenly sharpened and they are able to remember the moments spent with the one who has been lost. These memories, though precious, also feel like a dagger to the soul. The speaker then explains the feelings of regret that can often plague a person who has lost someone dear. When one loses a loved one, he or she will sometimes regret kind words unsaid. The speaker has clearly experienced the kind of loss which left her desperately longing for more time to express the love she felt in her heart for the person who was taken too soon. She thinks about the walks she promised to take with that loved one. Having never fulfilled those promises leaves her with a gnawing pain of despair and regret. Stanza 4. Great souls die and our reality bound to them takes leave of us. Our souls, dependent upon their nurture, now shrink, wizened. Our minds, formed and informed by their radiance, fall away. We are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark cold caves. Explanation. In this stanza, the speaker gives an insight into the mental and emotional effects of losing someone close. In this stanza, the loss of a great soul means the loss of a soul that had a great impact on one's everyday life. She explains the way that loss can truly change a person's reality. The speaker explains the way that our souls can depend on the nurture of another, and when that person dies, it leaves us feeling small, like our very soul have shrunk. She describes the way in which one's mind can be informed by their great one's radiance, and the way those suffering loss can feel as though their minds fall away. The speaker identifies with others who have felt this loss when she uses the second person point of view and claims we are not so much maddened as reduced to the unutterable ignorance of dark cold caves. Stanza 5. And when great souls die, after a period, peace blooms, slowly and always irregularly. Spaces filled with a kind of soothing electric vibration. Our senses restored, never to be the same, whispers to us, they existed. We can be and be better, for they existed. Explanation. In the final stanza of this poem, the speaker offers hope to all who have suffered loss by revealing the healing that has occurred in the aftermath of the death. The speaker seems to imply that time has allowed for this healing to occur. She explains that after a period, she was able to feel peace bloom. It happened slowly and always irregularly. This reveals that she still had moments of despair and anguish even as she was slowly beginning to heal and feel peace. She described the feelings in between the healing as something with a kind of soothing electric vibration. In a sense, the pain still buzzed in the background of her very being, and yet the memory of the lost one was soothing and comforting. She explains that eventually her senses were restored, even if they were never to be the same again. In the back of her mind, in the background of all that she does, she hears the presence of the one lost. She hears the whispers, they existed. This gives her new meaning and purpose in her life. She claims that because of this great one existed, she can be better. The ending of this poem offers great hope to all who have experienced loss. The speaker continues to identify with others who have lost loved ones. This also creates a sense in the reader that they are not alone. Even if they will never be the same again, and even if there will always be pain and sadness, there is hope for healing and joy in the midst of a great loss. Okay friends, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share with your friends, and if you have any suggestions for me, please write in the comments box. Bye, have a good day. Thanks for watching this video.